Once, in the heart of Igbo land, in the village of Ezeagu Iwolo Oge, there ruled a chief feared by all. Chief Okobwiz was a man of about 60, with a towering, dark frame, his face twisted in such a way that people swore even the trees bowed away from him as he passed. His eyes were piercing, his words sharp as blades, and his heart, many said, was as black as midnight. For years, he terrorized the villagers. Women whispered about his misdeeds while they stirred pots over open fires, their voices low and fearful, for fear that even the walls could hear. Pregnant women, who dared not look him in the eye, held on to their swollen bellies whenever he walked by, as if to shield their unborn from his wicked presence. Widows, whose voices once carried wisdom and kindness, huddled together, sharing stories of the chief's cruelty, from the taxes he imposed to the way he'd punish anyone who dared challenge him. He had no pity, not for the young nor the old, nor even for the spirits of the ancestors. On a dark evening, a stranger came to the village, a bent old woman, her hair white as chalk and eyes that seemed to hold all the stars of the night sky. She moved with a slow, deliberate grace, her feet never quite touching the ground, or so it seemed to those who dared to glance her way. As the villagers exchanged uneasy glances, they whispered about her being a witch, a keeper of ancient curses. Chief Akabweze, undeterred by any power but his own, laughed when he heard of the stranger. He mocked her openly, calling her a frail bag of bones, unworthy of his respect. But that night, as he walked home, he found her waiting by his door, her eyes blazing like the fires of the underworld. "You have ruled with cruelty, Akabweze," she hissed, her voice echoing as if from far away. "For every tear shed, for every soul harmed, you shall pay a price." Akabwiz scoffed, but the witch's words grew louder, booming through the village like thunder. And in that moment, he felt an invisible weight press upon him, squeezing his chest and burning his veins. The people watched in silent awe as the mighty chief stumbled backward, his face twisted in fear for the first time anyone could remember. As the curse took hold, Chief Akobwiz withered. Day by day, his once mighty frame shrank, his skin turned a sickly gray, and his voice became a mere whisper. The villagers watched from afar, no one daring to help him, until one cold morning, they found him alone, lifeless in his compound, a shadow of the man he once was. When the news of his death spread, the village erupted into jubilation. Mothers danced with their children, the pregnant sang songs of hope for their unborn, and the widows lifted their voices in thanksgiving. For the first time in years, Ezeagu Iwolo Oge felt the warmth of peace. Chief Akabweze's memory faded, becoming nothing more than a cautionary tale whispered at night by the fire. And the villagers, free at last, lived on, carrying forward the lesson: power ruled by fear will always end in ruin.